am delighted to introduce Deva Premal, an extraordinary musician who is known around the world for chanting mantras in Sanskrit and Tibetan, and she has been nominated to a Grammy Award. Thank you so much, Deva, for being with us today. And for those who don't know what mantras are, could you tell us what they are and their significance? Why are they important?
Yes. So mantras, first of all, I just want to say how happy I am to be here with you.
Thank you.
The secret of mantras, I feel they're like passwords. You know, they're like keys. They're open. They're the right frequency to open the door. And what do they open the door to is a sense of peace and a sense of deep, vibrant silence. You know, when I chant mantra, I feel it's kind of a shortcut to meditation. Sometimes I almost feel a little bit like this is cheating, because I've just been sitting here 5 minutes chanting, and the silence that happens is like a silence that could come after an hour or two of silent meditation. It's so immediate and so deep. And mantras are sound medicine, so they are vibrations or frequencies that we can actually make with our human possibilities of the mouth and of our voice, also of our thoughts, because mantras also work when we just think them. And they open the doors to different realms, to different chakras, to different qualities that we want to enhance, that we want to focus on. So we have mantras for healing, we have mantras for removing obstacles, we have mantras for joy, for love, for abundance. And I feel all these mantras are actually using doors all to get to the same space, you know. So some of us are dealing with the issue of abundance in our lives, either lack of abundance, or maybe we just really want to be grateful for the abundance we have. And then we use that door of abundance, which in this case would be using a Lakshmi mantra, to find that inner silence. You know, in the end there is only silence. There is, you know, it doesn't matter which door we walk through. But for some, you know, each one of us in our lives has a different theme and different challenges and different focus, or different passions, you know, like, you know, somebody is totally into nature, and then a nature mantra is the door to that silence, or, you know. So, but in the end there is oneness and there is peace, and that I feel has no real color anymore, you know. It doesn't have a color of abundance or joy. It's just bliss, you know, pure experience and vibrant silence that there's no words, you know.
For those who are familiar with your gift of as a mantra singer, we can testify for what you're saying. That is completely true. Just listening to your mantras in the morning, sometimes when I wake up, I get to that space of peace and I can move on with my day. And the next question then would be, is it enough to listen to the mantra, or is it important to also chant the mantra? And does it need to be in Sanskrit or Tibetan or these exotic languages, or can we chant mantras in another languages as well?
So that's good, because I didn't mention that the mantras we chant are in Sanskrit, and actually even if they sound Tibetan, they're Sanskrit, because they just pronounce them differently. I used to think, oh, that sounds Tibetan, but then when I asked, it's actually Sanskrit, unless, you know, they chant their scriptures, then of course that's Tibetan. But the mantras that we chant is Tibetan Buddhist mantras, they're Sanskrit. And Sanskrit is a language that maybe is the only language that is energy-based, which means the vibration of the Sanskrit language is the sound equivalent of the manifestation, which means Ananda, which is bliss. Ananda, that sound, is bliss. It's not a pointer, it's not an alias, it's not a kind of a, descriptive sound. It is the energetic sound expression of that quality. So that's why especially Sanskrit is so potent, because we don't have to know what it means. There's also no concept. It's not like, oh yeah, bliss, or it feels like that, and this is what I think about bliss, and this is how I've experienced bliss, and this is, like, we don't have all those barriers in the mind. We just have the pure sound medicine when we chant that sound Ananda. Sometimes I feel maybe it's better we don't know what it means, because it gives a more direct experience of how do I feel when I chant this, how do I feel attracted, what happens inside of my inner being, But also, of course, intention always enhances, so when we have that intention, it can make it even stronger. And non-Sanskrit mantras, English mantras like affirmations, why not? I think the Sanskrit is definitely much stronger, because there's no concepts, there's no human ideas about what all these qualities might mean in our lives.
And you were born and raised until a certain age in Germany. How did you get introduced to the world of mantras in Sanskrit? How did you arrive to that?
Yeah, I had my father was deeply on the search, especially through Eastern spirituality. So he immersed himself in mantra actually way beyond I have. Like he would chant mantra 4 hours every night from 2 to 6, walking around the city walls of Nuremberg for 10 years, that kind of dedication, He just he studied Sanskrit. That was everything that he did really thoroughly. So he just felt like, wow, I just have these 2 children, or actually 3 children, and what can I give them? What is the most important thing for them to be given as they're growing up? And so he felt mantra. So Gayatri mantra was the one we sang for sleeping, for bedtime.
And that is a very powerful mantra, right?
Yeah.
Could you tell us why it's so important,
yes.
The Gayatri mantra?
So the Gayatri mantra, it's also called the mother of all mantras. It's, according to the Vedas, it actually came into existence in the beginning of the universe, like in that first fire ceremony that created the universe. There was the Gayatri mantra and there were the Vedas. That kind of standalone, like important mantra that celebrates the light, and that's what's so, that makes it also so universal, because the light is everything, it's not joy, it's not abundance, it's not love, it's light, it lights up everything. So that that's why I feel that's why we all kind of are drawn to it and relate to it. I have to say, it doesn't matter whether we know it's a mantra, we know anything about mantras. So many emails we've received and messages from people who stumbled across the Gayatri mantra, had no idea. And even just listening, like when you just said, is it enough to just listen? Even just listening, transformation happens. Really deep, like humbling messages that we get where people say, look, I was even ready to take my own life. There was no joy in my life, no spark. And somebody put the Gayatri mantra during a massage session, and the light went on, and I found a spark enough for me to want to keep living.
I experienced that synchronicity actually, because I was very experiencing a time in my life of a lot of darkness and difficulty, and I decided to take a shamanic course, and someone in the break put the Gayatri mantra. So I was so attracted to your voice and the message without understanding, as you say. And then just a few minutes later, the teacher walked in, Alberto Villoldo, who after a while ended up being my partner and now my husband. So I met my husband just minutes after I listened to the Gayatri mantra. So it's definitely just I feel it in my own heart how powerful and auspicious it is. And that is in your CD, the essence, right? If anybody wants to listen to the Gayatri mantra, it's most powerful and sublime and beautiful. And every time I listen to it, until this day, I get transported. So, and your mother was a musician, so that also informed your path, right?
Yeah.
And Deva, did you ever experience like doubt about your path, or what was the most difficult moment for you as you went on with this?
I mean, my path has been, I feel it's been like an unfolding. It's kind of been like and it's still happening, unfolding like a flower is like opening. So it's been actually quite a gentle path. I haven't had like huge challenges or crises or anything in my spiritual journey. And of course, I'm faced with doubts and self-worth issues because it's so easy, you know. And that's been my kind of challenge. Like, am I worthy of what's happening to me because it has come so easily to me? You know, I haven't. You know, the mind can always find some kind of problem. You know, so I feel like, oh, did I fight? Did I not fight enough? But did I put enough effort? You know, do I deserve this life? Do I know enough? You know, am I knowledgeable enough? You know, like so that's my, and comparing myself and feeling like I am not, and you know, like, so these kind of doubts, they're not like major big crises, but it's definitely an inner, you know, inner journey with that. And I've come to understand that that every path is different. So that's a huge one. It's so simple, but it's huge. And maybe this lifetime it's just like that, and it can also change, who knows, you know. So and also because I always used to think, oh, you know, what I do is so simple, anyone can do that, you know, like what, it's nothing, you know, because it's so simple and anyone can do it. But the way I do it, nobody else can do it, you know. Like, so that's all of us is like that, you know. Whatever we can do, nobody does it like us, you know, like us ourselves. So I just always feel my message is like, you know, sing your own song, you know, just you do it, you do yourself best, you know.
That's beautiful. And you embody everything that you chant, because I known you for many years now. I can say that you embody what these mantras communicate, because you are a person that really walks the talk, a very compassionate person. So these mantras speak about beauty and compassion, and I see you always creating that beauty around you and that generosity. You're always sharing in such big ways, your medicine, your wisdom, the gift that you received in this life. So I thank you for that. And in the Eastern traditions, they speak about karma. So if you wonder why do you have it, why your life has been in such a flow, do you believe in karma?
Totally, totally. I mean, that's how I grew up, you know, with my father being so like seeing the world through Eastern spirituality. So reincarnation and karma is just, I couldn't really imagine anything else. So yeah, so who knows?
So somehow you earned this life.
I have no idea. I mean, sometimes I think it's my holiday life. Maybe it's just a life that I sit by the pool and have a cocktail.
And you also have to, you share this path with your partner, your life partner. Would you like to say anything about that? How is it to to walk with a partner so closely.
Incredible. I mean, like, you know what it's like. It's just such a gift, and I feel like we, like meeting him. Meeting Miten in India when I was 20, and Miten was already all his life he was a musician, and actually all I wanted to do was be with him and work with him. So music was the best way to do that. Mm-hmm. That's how simple I am and I was, and but he saw something in my voice or heard something in my voice that he felt was worth giving energy to and supporting. And some chemistry happens between us when we sing together that is good, that feels good, and that lifts others up as well. And so I'm just totally grateful to him. He really watered the seed that my father planted. And that was really in the childhood. The Gayatri was planted in me. It didn't look like anything, it didn't even show, I didn't feel anything much when I was chanting it as a kid. It was like something I needed to do because of my parents, or I had to do. And then it was just dormant from maybe 9 or 10 years old. I stopped chanting. I met Miten at 20, and then only at 27 years old, when I had already worked on my voice just by being with him, then somehow it felt like now I'm ready to reconnect with the Gayatri mantra, and it came back into my life. Mm-hmm. And then I started singing it, and we started singing and chanting it, and that was a total surprise, total unexpected surprise, and it really felt like, oh, now it's ready to sprout or to actually flower. It's more of a flower
around the world.
And it's like a scent, it feels like the flower sends out the scent that somehow touches.
Yes, I have been in spas in China, in Mongolia, and all of a sudden, your voice comes in. You and Miten come in. So people listen to you all over the world. Would you leave us with a message for those people that really are new to this, that have never gone into the world of mantras? What would you tell them as an encouragement?
Yeah, I mean, just use your voice. You have the voice. Everyone has a voice. You have a breath, and the most powerful, potent, and maybe known mantra is the mantra Om. And I don't think you could ever forget Om. Nobody can say, "Oh, I can't remember how it went." Om, two letters. Om, Om. And just see what it feels like to sing 3 times the mantra Om. For example, before you eat, for example. That's a really good moment, because often we sit down, we rush, we've been rushing, we sit down, we eat. Just that moment of 3 times, 3 out breaths with the sound of Om till the end of the breath. So simple, it doesn't take any time, and you'll be totally surprised how transformed, you feel, how you eat in a totally different way. Or do it before sleeping, just to let the day come to a kind of to let the day fade out, just 3 times mantra Om.
Could you guide us in chanting Om?
Yes.
All right, that would be beautiful. Yes. And I will leave you with Om, and then you could stay and meditate in the sound, in the vibration. So thank you so much,
thank you,
Deva, for sharing your wisdom and your story. And we end then with the guidance of chanting Om.
So just close your eyes. And it's beautiful if you can sit with your back straight. And we breathe in and out through the mouth, like a little sigh. And then we breathe in. Om.